Hi, this is Abul Hussain coming to you direct from London, the United Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of the SMMA Mastermind podcast, where we talk about how you can start or scale your digital marketing agency. We also bring on guests to talk about their subject matter expertise that could help you deliver better results for your clients. Now, if you are watching this episode outside of our Facebook group, click on the link above or below this video or go to smmamastermind.com, especially if you are in the agency community. With that out of the way, I am joined by a very special guest all the way from Ontario in Canada. He is the founder and CEO of 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗲, a full-service digital marketing agency. And today we are going to talk about how he is delivering results for his clients during this global pandemic. Vincent Colizza, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem. No problem. I'm excited to get started. Just talk about what we do at 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗲.
Well, let's talk about you first. Let's talk about you. For the people who don't know who you are, how about a little bit of an introduction into how you started 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗲 and your digital marketing journey?
Yeah, for sure. So like a bunch of other young entrepreneurs, I started off with e-commerce, just looking for ways to make money online, Shopify. And eventually that path sort of led me down to marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube, etc. And then I found the digital social media marketing space and thought I'd give it a go, created a company around it, and then just really fell in love with what I was doing, and started off small. But as we began to scale, build our team, things got a bit easier. But a lot of people think with a digital marketing agency, it's easy. There's not much work involved. But that's not the case at all. You got to do a lot of work, a lot of reaching out, get out of your comfort zone. So that's how I found digital marketing. I started with e-commerce, looking for ways that I can sort of build a business and brand online. Stumbled across social media marketing, and that's just the route I took. Now I'm here. Business going well, especially during these times. Bunch of people looking to bring their business online. Now's the best time to get started if you do want to get started in digital marketing. So yeah, there's been even e-commerce has scaled, has gone up. I think it's 80% now. So everything's sort of shifting online, and
no, I totally agree with you there. Now I know you work in several different industries. I mean, what are some of I suppose the niches that you're working in right now?
Yeah, so right now, real estate as well as e-commerce are our two biggest niches that we're working with. We also work with coaches, consultants, and info products. Very rarely, however, we do have some clients in those niches, but we try to focus on our main three, which is real estate, e-commerce, / info product, if you will. And so that's where we've seen the greatest success. That's where we specialize in. Depending on who reaches out and potential we see, we can expand those niches, like I said, to coaches, consultants. But we find it easiest to just stick with three. Obviously, when you're starting out, you want to be as broad as possible, test the waters in different niches, see what you like, see what works best, and then go from there. But yeah, so those are what we found work the best, those three. And we've continued to reach out to those companies, those business people who run those.
Okay, no, that's great. So the realtors that are coming to you, because I've heard from other people that kind of realtors are a very tricky niche. One, it's very difficult to sign them up. Two, when you start generating leads for them, they start complaining about the quality of the leads. So how are you delighting your clients through your services?
So yeah, that is definitely a challenge, because with real estate, you never know which one, if their sales are coming from the ads in general, or if they're coming from either the whitelist or the broker themselves. But no, we keep them happy, just staying in touch, showing them our results and exactly what we've done. and then that so that they can stay on sort of the same page and see what we're doing, so that they know it works. We're open to showing them sort of the back end stuff that a lot of other agencies don't. We show them where the money is getting put towards, and different platforms we're using. So that's how we keep those specifically real estate agents happy. They are harder to sign. They were before the pandemic. Now, since everything again is getting more online, no more open houses. A lot of their showings have to be through call, through online photos, etc. So it is becoming a bit easier, but definitely still a tricky niche. And with real estate agents, the trick is to just be in constant contact with them, build that rapport, and then just build that trust to where they know you're doing your job, and that is getting them results.
And are you simply generating leads for them? Are you qualifying the leads? Are you following up?
So we've
magic
done
look
both.
like?
Yeah. So we've done both. We generate leads for both buying and selling houses. We get the agents' houses to list, as well as people to buy. So we generate leads on both parts of that, which a lot of people don't do. A lot of them will just try and sell their house, get people interested in buying. When you have to utilize both, you have to get them people who also want them to list their house as well. So you just want to fill their pipeline as much as possible so that they're busy as well as you. So
right, okay. And in the ecom space, what's working well for your clients? As you've mentioned, during this pandemic, I think globally online shopping has kind of surged.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of tactics are you employing for your clients to make sure that they can ride the wave?
So really, many businesses are online nowadays. There's a lot of competition. What we focus on is really building their brand, so they can stand out. There's a lot of people selling the same products, selling the same services, or whatever the case may be, but you have to build that brand and build trust around it. So we work with them to sort of build that brand, also build the trust, get their name out there, which makes the marketing and interest much easier to produce, especially when they're already familiar with your brand. It just makes your results that much better, which is sort of a tactic we've used. Before running ads and everything, we make sure their brand's strong enough, and that boosts conversion and makes them happy in the long run. So yeah.
And in terms of practical steps, what do you do to help build that brand, to build that trust?
So for sure. So it all evolves around the website and the landing page, right? So that's where people have their first look at your brand, your products, etc. So we make sure their landing page and their website is well put in place, copyright's good, just an overall website that will produce high conversion. Once that's set, we can start with Google and SEO, which are two services we also provide. Get their brand ranked high, so they get that organic content or organic traffic from Google. And then once those two are done, it's really just running ads on YouTube, Facebook, and Google. From there, their brand, they know is ranked high in Google search. We know we're confident in their landing page, their website, that will produce a high conversion. So then it's just focusing on ads, and if you're not getting the results, then it's not the website or the SEO. It's specifically on ads, so it makes it easier to optimize as well.
I want to put you on the spot there. Can you sell any product through Facebook ads?
It depends. It depends, again, the brand around it, right? You can create a brand around something as stupid as a rock, right? We've seen the pet rock that's sold like crazy. And that's why we focus our main thing on the brand, building that, because I believe if you do have a strong enough brand and sort of like a story or message around it, you definitely can sell almost anything. And if it is a product that will already potentially sell well, it'll just sell that much better.
If you wanted to kind of rank things in importance, I suppose, in kind of the key components of an effective e-commerce strategy, what would you have there? You've got brand trust. What else?
Brand trust, know your audience, right? You don't want to be running ads or sending your message out to people who won't be interested. That's where you have to, and us as a team, we have to dig deep into where people's interests are and what type of people are interested in different categories, because there's no point in running ads if they're going to go to people who have no chance of buying. You want to find people who will scroll, come across whatever product you may be selling and already have an interest with it, and then combine that with your brand, your website, your trust, and then that's where your conversion really skyrockets.
Mm-hmm. And someone who might be an e-commerce store owner who is looking to start doing some Facebook advertising, I'm sure a question that you hear all the time is, what's a good budget to get started with? From your perspective, how much does someone need to invest in Facebook advertising to kind of see some results?
For sure. Not a lot. Especially when you get started, you can't start off with these high budgets because Facebook nowadays, they ban a lot of accounts for people who just start with a high budget. They'll ban a lot of your accounts that way. But just starting with $25 a day and scaling up that way is more than enough to get results, to see if your product works, see if it sells. We usually start at about 50 or 100, depending on how confident we are with our product or client's business that we're trying to promote. But yeah, 25, when I was running e-commerce stores, 15 to 25, it's enough to sort of test the product to see if it sells. You let that run for 2 or 3 days. So $100 really is all you need to see if your product sells, see if it can go places.
And in terms of creative, what kind of creative do you find working best? Does it need to be a video, or is an image enough?
No, for sure. Obviously, video ads do perform better to a certain extent, but we've had clients who they may not have a video, and in particular real estate clients, where it's hard to get a video of the house that's short enough so people can see it, press on the link, and show their interest. So a lot of that is carousel and just high quality photos with a caption that explains everything. People don't like reading, so videos do work better. People don't like scrolling, especially if they're not interested. So a video with a nice hook obviously performs a bit better, but no, you don't need it to get results, not at all.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of kind of testing, how many kind of creatives do you need to test at the same time? How many copy variations, or do you like to keep it very clean?
For sure. We always start with 3. You don't need 3. If you find one that works, that is perfectly fine. We just like constantly changing our creatives, especially once one's been performing well for a long time. You like to switch it up, just keep people on their toes, and sort of portray a new aspect of that product or brand. Just get a new view with a different type of video that might appeal to different people who weren't interested in the first one. So that's what I think creatives is good for. Just you might find one person who's interested in one, and the other you might have a bunch of other people who are interested. So it's good to test that way. But no, you don't need more than one, especially if you don't want to invest in the 3 or don't have the capital to do so. You can just find one solid video and just run that.
Okay. And in terms of picking up clients for your agency, what does your prospecting look like? Are you cold calling, cold emailing? Are you getting referrals?
So yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of people talk about with the digital marketing is outreach. A lot of people don't like cold calling. I know I still not the most comfortable with it, but you have to do it. That's how you get your highest closing rate. That's where you get most clients, just speaking one-on-one with them. But one platform where we do most of our outreach is LinkedIn. On there, you find a bunch of professionals who are looking to do business. and it's just a great platform to utilize in terms of getting clients and leads. We also use different platforms like Yelp. That's a good one. It gives you their contact information, and from there you can either give them a cold call or send some cold emails. But I'd say the top three are cold call, LinkedIn, and email. That's our top three outreach method. Yeah.
And I mean, are you doing cold calls daily? Are you doing kind of outreach daily? What does your kind of daily mix of prospecting look like?
Yeah. So for sure. I like to say I cold call daily, but that's not true. There's some days where I wake up and I just don't want to do it. But I do outreach every day, whether it's on LinkedIn or email. I think that's important too, whether you're cold calling or not. Just keep outreaching, keep reaching out to people, and eventually you will get that one client, that one lead that you can close. But cold calling definitely works best, and it's something that even I have to work on, and everyone else should if they want to get into the space. But if you're not comfortable and you're just starting out, look into LinkedIn and email marketing. Those you can send mass messages. You can send 100, 200 plus a day. Obviously, the open rate is much lower, but you're still prospecting, you're still reaching out, which will eventually get you some type of lead.
Right. And do you use any Facebook groups as well? Because I know a lot of people feel like they need to go into a Facebook group.
Yeah. I've tried it out. I've tried Facebook groups. They do work. However, me personally, I'm not the largest fan of Facebook, the platform in general. For Facebook ads, obviously you can't find a better platform to run ads with. Just their pixel and their detailing is just superior to everyone else. But no, I don't do any cold groups or any groups in Facebook. You can for sure. We've tried it out. We've gotten some leads, but we like to stick to our main three and just really send out mass outreach on those three platforms.
And your sales process from the initial call, what does it actually look like? I'm sure you're not trying to close someone in that initial call.
Yeah, well, there has been times where we tried doing a one call close. Obviously very rare. What we usually, the purpose of our outreach and our script is to book a demo call. So through the email, through LinkedIn, through call, we like to schedule sort of a one-on-one Zoom demo call where once we schedule that, then we can go over sort of our business details, how we can benefit that business, budget, etc. And then from that call, if they're interested, we can try and close on the demo. But we usually close we call it a closing call, which is our second call after we got the lead, and then that's where we try and close our client. So and you won't always close that call.
Yeah.
So our conversion rate right now is about 4 or 5%, which is average, right? Like you reach out
it's
to
all right.
200.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, you reach out to 200 people, 5%, you're gonna get 10 leads. And all those 10 leads won't close, right? Of that 5%, you might close 1 or 2%, you know? So it's a process for sure. And you just got to keep outreaching. You're going to get a lot of rejections, a lot of no's. But all you need is that one yes, and then you're set.
And do you run the campaigns yourself, or do you have like a contractor who runs the campaigns for you and you deal with it?
So when I started out, I was running all the campaigns myself. I had experience because of my e-commerce stores. But as we gained a few clients and we got the capital, we expanded our team. So now I have 5 media buying members, as well as some salespeople who do it all for me, and I just manage and sort of revise and look over what they're doing. And I share that information with our clients, which is a lot of people don't show their clients the results or their campaigns, whether they're scared or for whatever reason. But it's a good way to build trust. It's a good way. That's how you build, your rapport with your clients, and they'll eventually sign for longer than just 1 month and they're gone. And that's what we see a lot of agencies doing as well, is they'll do like a 3-month minimum. We don't do that. We just do 1 month. Which helps sort of trust. the trust between, and it also gives them a sense of security that they're not signing 3 months away for something that might not work in their mind. So we do 1 month, and once they see our results, then we'll go on to sort of a 3-month contract or 6-month, depending on the interest of the client.
Right. So your 5 media buyers, how many clients are they expected to service?
So each of them are expected max is 3. So if they're all full with clients, we don't do any more outreach. We just keep building on the campaigns we already have. And that's an important thing to note. Don't overbook. Don't sort of sign too much than you can handle, right? That'll just affect your business in the long run. You'll get some bad reviews. So know what you can do, know what you can handle, and then just go from there. So for us, we have with our five media buyers, they can handle around 3 clients. Any more than that, we will not sign them. So especially now in these times, that's why I'm looking to expand media buying as well. Get some more media buyers so we can expand clients and really scale the business, which is what a lot of people are doing during these times, because once again, everything's sort of shifting online, and it's only going to stay here in the future. So
how does one find a good media buyer? Because there's a lot of people on Upwork, there's a lot of people on Facebook that say they can be your media buyer. What's the litmus test to kind of, weed out those who are trying to con you to the ones who can actually deliver results?
For sure. 3 of my media buyers were just close connections I've already had, people I've ran e-commerce stores with. So if you don't have the luxury of having those knowledgeable friends or connections around you, Fiverr is a good place to look. You can look on Upwork, but you don't just want to sign them right away. You want to have a couple meetings with them. You want them to show you some of the work they've done, and really sort of build trust with them. Because once you sign them, then there's no going back, right? I mean, you can always let them go, but then you're just back at 0. So you really want to do the work beforehand. Don't rush the process. I know you're probably in a hurry, like, oh, I got to get this. We have a client, whatever. No, don't do that. Take as much time as you need till you feel 100% confident with that media buyer, until they're 100% confident with you as well, because they're going to be working for you. And you have to, obviously you may not get them full time. They may say, okay, yeah, we'll do the media buying for this client. And then later on down the road, if you just keep in touch, you can end up signing them full time, which is what we did with the other 2. But if you only have 1 client, I don't suggest getting a media buyer. I would say, honestly, learn ads yourself first. You don't want to get into digital marketing if you don't know what you're doing. You don't have to be an expert at it, but definitely have some knowledge of what's happening. And then from there, you can make the judgment call whether the media buyer is a good fit or not. But Fiverr and Upwork's where we look. You can look on LinkedIn as well, which is what we're going to start doing when we outreach more for some media buyers. But yeah, those 3 platforms are definitely where you can find some of the best.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Now, we're very quick running out of time. Final question for you. For someone who's watching this, who is looking to start their own digital marketing agency, their social media marketing agency, what's the best advice you can give them?
The best advice would be just keep going. When I first started, I got a lot of rejection. And as soon as I got the rejection, I'd want to quit, and I want to be like, okay, like, this isn't for me. But no doesn't matter, right? Like, if you call them and they say no, are you going to see that person again? Are you going to meet them? You can follow up, sure. But at the end of the day, what does no affect you? Just your confidence and your self-esteem, right? So if you can get by that, especially cold calling, a lot of people, they can face rejection on like LinkedIn or on different messages. But when it comes to actually talking on the phone, people hear that rejection and they get put down so badly. But my biggest advice would be cold call as much as you can, whether you like it or not. And rejection is normal. You're going to get that. right? You, like I said, 5%, you have to make 200 different calls, different outreach methods, whether it's email or LinkedIn, and you're only going to get maybe 5 leads, if that. So with that, just keep going, and eventually you'll get that one client, and then eventually you'll start getting referrals. But if you're just starting out, you got to outreach. You got to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great tip. Embrace rejection. On that note, Vincent, thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.